Hey, my bookish friends. Welcome to the Leaf Sonata. I'm your host, Marquita. Thank you so much for joining me today. I was able to steal some time and have a little chat with you guys about my thoughts on Logan's run. There are two authors. This duo is William F. Nolan and George Clayton Johnson. And if you have seen the 70s adaptation of this film, you pretty much know how the book is going to go, except halfway through the book, it really changes from the perspective that we're given from the film adaptation. And I can't really say which one I like the best. So if you haven't seen the film and you haven't read the book, let me tell you a little bit about Logan's Run. And I say a little bit because it is a very short novella. This is 149 pages. And I think it's perfect. I think it's perfect in a sense of how long it is. This is a true adventure. It gives you feels like National Treasure, not really Indiana Jones, but the National Treasure vibe mixed with Maze Runner. And Brave New World. There's a lot. So if you're not familiar with Logan's Run, the society of Logan's Run, they are on Earth. This is a science fiction. And each infant has an implant on their palm of a crystal flower. I guess you could say a crystal flower. And you only live 3 life cycles, each of 7 years. So when you turn 21, your cycle from birth to 7 is yellow, and then from 7 to 14 is blue. From 14 to 21 is red, and when it turns black at 21, you're supposed to be terminated. Voluntarily go through a termination, like to a sleep chamber or something like that. So you're living in a world where everyone is 21 years and younger. Everyone with complete autonomy, but at the same time, this society is governed by the thinker. And I don't remember learning very much about the thinker in the movie, but you do in the book, and wow. So the world in the book is so much, the world building is so much bigger and vast. It goes global in the book, but the film gives you kind of the feel of there's just like this one city community of people where all of these things are happening after like post-apocalyptic type of situation where everyone's living their best hedonic life with pleasure seeking all the pleasures they want. In the film, sex exploration is like mentioned, but it's not really delved into. The book does the same thing, so I know I'm a prude when it comes to reading certain things. I just don't need all that, don't want all that. But of course, because of the society, everyone's life is so short-lived. You're wanting to fill all the feels, have all the experiences, because you only have 21 years. And like I mentioned, at that 21 years, your life is supposed to be terminated voluntarily. And if you don't voluntarily go into a sleep chamber or whatnot, a Sandman comes, seeks you out, and terminates you. And it just so happened that Logan is a Sandman. And he's going to terminate someone, and they mention to him an urban legend sanctuary. And his time is almost out. So he's entering termination. His flowers blinking red, about to turn black, but he's the Terminator. And so he starts to seek out this possible opportunity to continue to live. But in the book, the difference too is from the film, Logan decides it seems like the struggle over what he's supposed to do as a Sandman is obsolete once he realizes he wants to live and continue his life. Not so much in the book. He really battles with his training and who he's been trained to be and think, and wants to continue his loyalty to this society, but he wants to live. And so thankfully Logan doesn't go, it's not, he's not taking like he's not solo, he's not alone in his trip. He does have a companion named Just Six. Logan is a model. Like just about everyone is a model of a name, and then you have whatever your like social number at the end of it. So he's Logan 6, and no, he's Logan 3, and she's Just 6, and whatever the numbers are at the end. And so she knows more about sanctuary, and she's trying to lead him to it. And I'm telling you, there are so many more obstacles in the book than there are in the film. And the book does a really good job of tying in how the world had come to this point where it's been determined by the thinker, or been determined by someone, that no one should live past the age of 21. And so in the book, you see these young people trying to live a life of 60, 70, 80 years in 21. It has the same type of feel like in, what's it called? Brave New World. This very similar, like I mentioned before, hedonic society. If you're depressed, you're going to take a solution for it to mellow you out. If you're lonely, you can take, if it's consensual, you can be with the person you want. I love that this book is very tasteful, and I kind of said it before, but the mention of the sexual exploration is just like a mention of it. There's nothing with lots of details or anything like that. So, but it makes sense. If your life is so short, the way that this is written, you would want to experience all the experiences possible. So I have very mixed feelings whether I enjoyed the book more than the movie. I love the tie-in of what happens with the government, what happens to the world, the state that it's in, why, the sense of community, because this is not it's not just concise to this one city capital like it is in the movie. This is global, and this was written in the late 60s. And it's not prophetic, but the course and direction that the world was going at that time, you could see, like, the authors could see that we would be in the situation that we're in now. Thankfully, we don't have thinkers, that determine how long our life should be. But the changes of society and people moving with society, and young people, their impact on society is highly promoted, I would say, in this book. So it doesn't really get very militaristic or like much into military, but it does talk great a bit about government and purpose in that sense. And everyone's looking to find out what their purpose is. Everyone questions what their purpose is, and I think that's so interesting. I have a few notes. I'm gonna look at them really quick. I thought too it was really neat, the technology. This book is definitely written before its time, and the technology advancements in the book are very impressive to me. That a lot of systems, technological systems, like on a mass scale, are built in a very similar way for life to be sustainable in certain situations. Okay. And there really wasn't any gore. Yeah. There was nothing explicit. You would think that the book would be very explicit thinking about the movie, but it's not. What I did not like about the book is I could tell there were two writers. One was more of an atmospheric type of writer, and the other one is definitely into the being plot driven and action packed. And so it really made a good balance, so to say. But I am always wanting more world building with more character explanation into that world. I get sometimes that having a character that's a bit more like a character in the story, main character, whatever, to be more aloof can be more intriguing and mysterious. So that's more alluring. I get that. So I do enjoy character-driven studies, but that was not the point in this little short 148, 49 page book. And so if you're gonna give me plot, I need just a little bit more, just a little bit more of description. Now, not to say that it was lacking. It wasn't lacking, but I just wanted just a little bit more. But it was so fast paced, you really just didn't have time for that. So that's always just something, that's my preference. But I enjoyed it. I think I would have preferred to have read the book first, since I'm telling you guys, halfway through the middle of the book, it takes a turn. The ending is absolutely nothing like the film adaptation at all. They gave us the Disney version of the film adaptation. It's not like that, and I think you'll really enjoy it. This was good sci-fi. This was very well written. I like the cover. I did not find a great cover. I went on eBay and just got the cheapest I could find because I just wanted to read it. I didn't really purchase it as a collector, and I really enjoyed it. So I may go back and look and see on eBay or maybe another site if it's available. But there wasn't much annotating that I wanted to do in the book. But I still liked it. And I also hope that you enjoy it too. And that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully it won't be so long before I can share what I read again. I never know when I can hit record. But if you've been rocking with me this long, thank you so much, especially if you have subscribed and given this video and previous videos a thumbs up. I have just only a few videos up on my channel now, but if you would like, please go back and check some of them out, because maybe you might find a similar read or something that we share the same taste, and you can give me recommendations, or you can take my recommendations, and then we can chat about it in the comments. So just let me know what your thoughts are if you have read Logan's Front, or if you like the film and are thinking about reading the book. Just let me know in the comments. So I will see you guys in the next one, and until then, y'all take care. Bye-bye.